Sephardic stuff. You want to do Sephardic melodies?
I'm going to take it off.
That's not it. That's about it.
Thank you, too.
Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So good to see you all. It's so warm in this room. All of your energy warming up the space. My name is Faryn. I'm really grateful to be here tonight, and I'm really grateful for all the people who made it possible for me to be here tonight. So I see many of you who I've met kind of throughout the Kahal, the community here tonight. So thank you so much for having me. And you know, what I keep being told is this Shabbaton is for you to get to know me and for me to get to know you. And I think one really good way to get to know me is through the way I like to pray, which is what we get to do here together tonight. So I want to share with you all a little bit about how I pray and how I like to think about and engage in prayer to set the framework for kind of how we'll be approaching the night tonight. So for me, I believe the act of praying is like telling a story. And that each unique service that we have in Judaism has a different story to tell. And on Friday nights, we actually tell two different stories. We tell this story called Kabbalat Shabbat, and we tell this story called Mariv. And Kabbalat Shabbat is this really special story. It comes once a week, and it's the story that starts before Shabbat, actually. It's technically like we're still in this before Shabbat energy. And we start by singing Yedid Nefesh. We sing this song of yearning for God, and then we sing this series of psalms of joy and amazement until we finally arrive and we turn toward the door and we welcome Shabbat in wholly and fully. And so we're telling this story that's building and building and building until finally Shabbat arrives. And then we turn to the second story, the story of Mariv, the story of evening, which is a story that we tell every night if we so choose, but there's a special quality to it that we tell on Shabbat. And so the story of Mariv, it starts with us really coming back to ourselves, being called to prayer, and then we go through and we welcome the night, we call to the one who loves us, and we proclaim our love back, and we engage in this back and forth dialogue of kind of sinking in to connection with a force outside of ourselves. But this whole story is told through song and silence. But there's many different kinds of song, and we're going to be engaging in lots of different kinds of song tonight. But staying in song throughout the course of a story feels really valuable to me. So I like to, once we get started in a story, it becomes one song that ebbs and flows throughout the story. And sometimes this song sounds like melodies. It sounds like melodies that we all sing together raucously. It's these like climaxes in the story. And then some of it sounds a little bit more like chanting, this kind of the connective tissue that connects us between each of those moments of climax that give us the background information that help us to understand what's coming next. And sometimes the song sounds like slowly singing really quietly to ourselves under our breath as we read the words of our prayer book or say the words of our heart. And all of these are forms of song that we'll be exploring and diving into together tonight. If any of it feels uncomfortable or different to you than from what you're used to, I invite you to lean into that discomfort and try on something new tonight. There's so many different ways to engage with prayer. You can sing along with the words in Hebrew. You can read along in English. You can yai-da-da-da-da along with us. You can, say the prayers of your heart under your breath. You can hum, you can you can you can do whatever you'd like. All of it is welcome and equally as valuable. And so I invite you to participate and co-create this service with me, however you so choose to do tonight. So with that in mind, I've been thinking a lot about the kind of song that isn't those moments of climax, but the song that weaves those moments of climax together, that connective tissue that makes those moments of climax possible. And so before we get started, I want to just give everyone a chance to turn to someone in the room, to say Shabbat Shalom, and share about what in your week was that connective tissue. Usually we turn and we're like, here's this great thing that happened this week, or here's this thing that was really hard this week. And I want you to instead share about what were the little things that were going on underneath the surface that were supporting you through whether it was good times or bad times this week. What was the connective tissue of your week? What was that kind of underlying story that was holding you? So we'll take a few minutes, turn to someone maybe you don't know or you do know, and share a little bit about your week with them. now shake it all off and settle into Shabbat. So here we are, let us begin. I would like to invite up Or Shalom President Matt and his wife Mo to help me with the candle lighting this evening. Page 5. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll turn now to page 7 for Yedid Nefesh, or the transliteration is on page 9. We're in the words at the bottom of page 35, or on your sheet, on your new handout, Roman numeral. The words are, we're bowing down at our holy mountain. Turn to Anabakoa, which is on your other insert, which I may or may not have. If you have one that looks like this, page 2. The song says, please, with the strength of your greatness, of your right hand, untie our tangled troubles. Receive the song of your people. Strengthen us, purify us, awesome one. Shackle of the week. We'll turn to Lecha Dodi on page 41.
Thank you.
water after that one. So to seal out the story of Kabbalah Shabbat, we'll turn to page 55 for the Haksi Kaddish to just put a little seal on this moment. I invite you to rise in body or spirit if that is your practice. Yitkada, Yitkada, Shemerabah, Yamadi Rabbi Tevel Nechmachute, Behaye Chono, Yomecho, Bohaye Necho, Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Obis Mamakai, Veru, Amen, Yahesh Me'erabah Mevorah, Le'ala, Le'omaya, Yifara, Yifara, Yishtabach, V'bari from Mami and Nasei, Ve'yitadar, V'yitalel, V'yitalal, Shemina Kodeshah, Brehu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birhata, V'shir Hata, Tushehata, V'nechemata, Daviram Ve'alma, Ve'leru, Amen. And I'll invite you to remain standing as we move out of welcoming the bride and into settling into the night. The Baruch Hu is on page 57. Page 59, read in the Hebrew or the English. Page 63. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha Torah u'mitzvot u'kibul mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shofeinu lefuneinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'le'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu be'orech yameinu u'bahem neheh yomam v'layla yomam v'layla Ve'havtecha lo tasor mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Yisrael. Page 65. We'll take one word, one breath. We'll turn to page 79. Crossing the sea into liberation. feel free. We'll turn to page 81. Help us to lie down, dear one, our God, in peace. And let us rise again, our sovereign to life. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Decree for us a worthy daily lot, and redeem for us the sake of your name, and enfold us in the wings of your protection. For you are our redeeming guardian. Truly a sovereign, gracious, and compassionate God are you. Ushmor tzeitenu u'vo'enu, l'chaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. So we're arriving in a moment in our service where we remember, what is the Shabbat thing anyways? So I think this is as good a time as any for a little Torah. So this Shabbat of Parshat Ki Tisa, we find ourselves at Sinai, quaking, trembling, seeing thunder, hearing lightning. Moses is at the top of the mountain. God is speaking to him. Here is how you create a holy space in which to worship God, God says. Here is the sacred oil you shall create to sanctify the space as holy, to sanctify the people as holy. Here are the incense you should burn. Here are the artisans I have designated to build in beauty this holy space. Here are all the things you have to do in order to create a space of holiness, an everlasting space. But then God interrupts God's self. God says, but in all this doing, don't forget, you must guard Shabbat. You must rest. For just as all this doing is obligatory, so is the not doing. 6 days are for work, but the seventh day shall be a Shabbat Shabbaton Kodesh Ladonai, a Shabbat of Shabbats, a rest of rests, that is sanctified, set aside for the divine. And then God says some words you may recognize from our weekly Shabbat liturgy. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. The children of Israel shall guard the Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Do Shabbat throughout the generations as an everlasting covenant. Between me and the people Israel, it will be an everlasting sign. For in 6 days, God created the heavens and the earth. And on the seventh day, God ceased, and God was refreshed. These words are sung by Jews the world over each and every Shabbat. Words that we cleave to help us remember what it is that we do or don't do on this day. Words that tell us the how of Shabbat, the why of Shabbat. We must rest on Shabbat because God did so. God created the world in 6 days, and on the seventh day, God rested from this work. So too do we. This is the mark of the covenant. This is what keeps us in reciprocal relationship with God. But let's take a deeper dive. What might we learn from these words, which on the surface feel simple? Let's break it down bit by bit. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat. The children of Israel shall guard the Shabbat. What does it mean to shamor, guard Shabbat? If the instruction was simply to rest, we would use the verb of the word Shabbat, but instead we are told to guard Shabbat, to protect it, to hold it close, to nurture it, shield it from the pangs of work. From this, the sages of the Talmud derive the importance of Shabbat. They say if the entirety of the Jewish people were to properly and fully guard the Shabbat for 2 consecutive Shabbats, the time of redemption would automatically come. The world to come, the better world, would just arrive. If we could truly discover how to guard rest as sacred or holy, we would access a state of eternal rest, free from pain, war, struggle, which brings us to the next section. La'asot et ha-Shabbat l'doratam brit olam. Do Shabbat throughout the generations as an everlasting covenant. If Shabbat is the ceasing from doing, why are we then immediately told to do it? Forever. Hasidic master Levi Yitzhak of Berdovich tells us that the verb doing is there to remind us that the act of Shabbat is not passive, but active. It is not merely the absence of doing. It is actively carving out a space of holiness in which we dwell each week, in which we can contemplate our interconnection with the entire universe, from the moment of its inception until the arrival of the better world, Brit Olam. And by doing Shabbat, we are actually bringing in that better world. Rest is the key to liberation, to redemption, not doing, but being. This is the Brit Olam, the everlasting covenant. Beini ubein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Between me and the people Israel, it will be an everlasting sign. From this verse, the rabbis of the Talmud deduce that the commandment of Shabbat was given in private, between me and the people Israel, not between me and the people of the world. So Shabbat was this little secret that God whispered in our ear, this secret gem of care, of wisdom, of liberation. But what is the purpose of a secret but to raise something's esteem, to make it highly desirable? For as soon as you learn a secret, what do you want to do? I want to tell it. It's basic human instinct, which means that God, in sharing the secret with us, allayed the power into our hands to distribute the secret of Shabbat as we so choose. For if Shabbat contains the key to collective liberation, and we hold that key, then isn't it our responsibility to unlock the door? Or perhaps make copies of the key to distribute en masse? For don't we all deserve to be free? Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. For in 6 days God created the heavens and the earth. What we could choose to learn from this line is that we observe Shabbat to mimic God as a way of remembering what God did for us. But rather, our sages lead us in a different direction. For Judaism embraces the notion of spiralinear time. Heard that word before. Time is linear, yet it's also cyclical. There was an original act of creation, yet also each week, creation happens anew. So what are we doing when we spend 6 days of the week working, or hopefully 5 in our case? We are actively participating in the creation of the world. Our work is as holy as God's work. Our work is the work of creation. And we are told to rest from it so that we can look back to it and recognize it as holy. Not toil, but active collective participation in the creation of this incredible universe. Uvayom hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinafash. And on the 7th day, God ceased, rested, desisted, and God was refreshed. In this line, we get 2 verbs for what God did on the 7th day. God Shabbated, i.e. stopped, and God vayinafashed, which is often translated as was refreshed. But the root of the word is nefesh, which is one of the 3 words for soul in Hebrew. So what did the sages make of the use of the word soul in verbal form? The sages of the Talmud chose to translate vayinafash as God was ensouled. What did it mean for God to be ensouled? It must mean that when God rested, God gained an extra soul. For God certainly already had one soul. So then, when we mimic God on Shabbat, when we Shabbat as God did, what does God do for us? God too provides us with an extra soul to support us, uplift us, carry us through this holy day. This extra soul is what allows us to really sink into, to delight in the endless expanse that is Shabbat, and to access heightened states of awareness and consciousness that can support us and hold us in the week to come. So in a moment, the music ensemble and I will teach you this new version of the Shamru. I'll give you a little hint. You've heard it a few times already without the words. It's a new tune written by Eitan Cantor, who's a rising Jewish liturgist and songwriter. But as we sing the song, I invite you to invite in all the learnings that we have from this song, everything that it has to teach us. That observance of Shabbat is the key to the redemption of the world. It's a secret that we need to share with the rest of creation, so they too get to experience Shabbat's liberation. I feel like we did that with the labor movement a little bit. To remember the work of your week, not as toil, but as holy work, as active participation in the creation of the universe and of a better world. And yet, when you still cease from it, as we all deserve to do, a second soul descends upon you, allowing you to integrate the work and rest into a perfect whole. So this Shabbat, may your second soul serve as a balm to your first soul. May it hold you, nurture you, be the arms in which your first soul can rest for this next 25 hours, allowing all the work and worry to be released into such sweet surrender. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll turn to page 85 for Vishamra.
Israel,
turn now to page 91 for a moment of silent prayer. You can pray the words of your heart or the words on pages 91 through 107. To begin with the words at the top of the page. Adonai, Shabbat May the bringer of peace bring peace upon all of us. Come to the moment in our service where we pray for all those in need of healing. I'll read a list of names, and then I'll invite other folks to share any additional names that you might have. Tonight we're praying for the healing of Audrey Blum, Barry Corin, Carol Clark, Daniel Bendova Bahayan, Davina Reed, Jeff Lewis, Jennifer Chidlaw, Joanne Laffler, Jonathan Noah Rips, Judith McCullough, Judy Alasal, Katie Stein, Larry Gomez, Linda Zaretsky, Marion Mandel, Matt Van Ruby, Paula Granados, Phil Chidlaw, Ruth Opper, Sarah Lee Pennington, Tom Hertz, Sharon Blevis, Stanley Darvis, Yamin Ben Marcus Barbara, and Yusuf Bakan. Are there any other names in the room?
Annie Rifkin, Howard Wolf, Rachel Aquilina, Kelly Aquilina. Jason Richter, Emma Hall, Maggie Joseph Singer, Lorena Wolfine, Robin Holland, Regina Sullivan, Susan Wardbridge, and Anna Daphne. Who was there on that? Sarah Ratliff. Yes. Walter Trott. Lori Weinstein.
For all those named and unnamed, we sing. The words are Ana Elma Lasanala. Heal them now. We'll turn to page 115. I invite you to rise in body or spirit as you're willing and able to begin to close our Mari service with the full Kaddish. Shirata, Page 121. Yaleno. All you have to say if you want is Ain Od. There is nothing else. Here, 3 lines up from the bottom. Skakatu b'toratzecha, Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ve'aya Adonai la'melech al kol ha'aretz. V'yom ha'hu, v'yom ha'hu, You may be seated. And it's come to the moment in our service where we remember all those whom we've lost. I know just recently there was a few losses in the community. the loss of Lynn Richter, cousin of Linda, Barbara Luck, friend of Linda, and Charles Noah Butter's family. We are also now observing the yard sites of Anthony Louis Olasov, Bertha Planer, Bonnie Gale Franklin, Burton Meyer, David Gershon, Esther Gochin, Eugene Hertz, Florence Rosen, Frank Pagano Jr., Kurt Porter Sleegar, Leo Rubenstein, Marcia Colby Rudolph, Morris Rostker, Pat Bozen, Ruda Pankunis, and Ulrich Holt. Would anyone else like to share the name of a loved one aloud, whether it is the anniversary of their passing or you're in a period of mourning?
You can say,
If you are in mourning or you're observing a yard site or it is your custom, I invite you to rise for Kadisha's home on page 131. Yifkadal, Yifkadash, Shemei Rabah, Be'alma, Yirah, Yeroteh, Be'almid, Malhuteh, Be'hayefon, U'yomechon, U'chaye, Dechol Be'Yisrael, Ba'adallah, Ubizman, Pari, V'yimru,
Amen.
Yehei, Shmei, Rabah, Menorah, Ve'olam, Amen. Yiparach, V'yishchabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromach, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei, D'Kudishat, V'yirku, Le'ela, Yinkol, V'yirhata, V'shirata, Tushrachacha, V'nechamata, V'amiram, V'yalman, V'yimru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'hayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Osei Shalom, V'yirmama, V'yasei Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevet, V'yimru, Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. I want to sing a quick song by a friend. It's on your sheets here. There's a tradition when someone is in mourning to sing the word, to say to them the words Hamakom Yinachem Etchem B'toch Shara Avalei Zion V'Yerushalayim. May you be comforted among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. And my friend, fellow rabbinical student Koach Baruch Frazier wrote these words after the passing of his father and his brother. And I want to bring them in as words of comfort for us today. Hamakom Yinachem Etchem B'toch Shara Avalei Zion V'Yerushalayim. May you be comforted. May you be comforted among the mourners of Zion, among the mourners of Yerushalayim. May you be comforted among mourners everywhere. May you be comforted. May you find comfort in these times. So we'll pause now for any quick announcements. I'm going to invite up Matt, and then maybe there'll be more announcements. And you can have my microphone.
Shabbat Shalom. First off, we're delighted to have you with us, Faryn, and thank you for sharing with us some of the familiar and some of the new, and much appreciated. I also want to thank the ensemble and the choir for all the work that you've been doing and working with Faryn to be prepared for tonight. And John and Eric, thank you for helping people to be online and see all that's happening shared with us tonight. And also real special thanks to the Rabbi Search Task Force for a lot of work and to help bring Faryn here, and many other people who were involved. So thank you all for that. Tomorrow there's another service at 10 a.m., followed by a lunch and learn. If you haven't ordered your box lunch, it's too late, so bring your own. But you're still welcome to come, just bring your own lunch. And that starts at 12:50 tomorrow after the service. What else? Everything's in the newsletter that you get every Thursday. So there's things there. We've got School of the Jewish Living Arts has a number of things going on, and there's information on our website for that as well, and in a newsletter.
The winter, well, we're having the winter homeless dinner next Wednesday, and we still need 2 people to help serve and clean. So if you can either respond on the newsletter or just come and tell me tonight.
Thank you. We also have longer term, save the date, Walker Creek Ranch Retreat coming back for the first time. I believe that's June 9th to 11th, whatever that weekend is. So keep an eye out for more details to come on that in the coming weeks. Also, our friends at Ner Tamid have invited any of our members to join them the second night of Passover at Ner Tamid. I know there's a fee involved with that, but you're welcome to join that. There's more information in the newsletter about that as well. Also, just while we're talking about it, anybody who came to the Purim event last Monday night, it was fantastic. And I also want to thank, I don't know if they're watching right now, the Southside Jewish Collaborative and working with us. And it was a real wonderful Harry Potter Purim theme event. And a lot of people here, including our executive director, Amy Mallard, had a lot to do with it, and Rabbi Haya. It was a lot of work, and the ensemble. And I know there was a lot to get ready for that, and thank you all for that as well. It was a really nice night. I think that's all I got. Anything else? Is there?
Yes.
Ananda?
I started a Jewish teen group, so if you know any teenagers who want to celebrate Havdalah and then come play board games with a bunch of other Jewish teenagers, just let me know.
Thank you, Ananda. And so that's about a teen group that has restarted, that thanks to the efforts of Ananda, and with Shar Sahav teams as well. So that's picking up some steam. And Rabbi Mira,
Very quick, just get these titles. Prayer is medicine. It's not too late to register. There's 2 more classes. What exactly is Tahara? A field trip to Sinai Memorial Art Exhibit, incredible art exhibit. Kiddush Kaddish, what's the difference? Biblical therapy, the Psalms. Kippah, Tali, and Tefillin. Why, when, who, how?
Awesome, thank you. Is there anything else that I missed that is imminent? Okay, thank you.
I'm going to do a quick pitch for my Lunch and Learn. It's going to be on the anointing oil that is prescribed in this week's Torah portion, and I made the oil. So if you come to the Lunch and Learn, you can smell what the anointing oil in the temple may have smelled like. And we'll turn now to page 133 for Adonai.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Mubarak.